Hola YouTube, estamos en el último episodio de Kingdom Come Deliverance y lo que tenemos que hacer ahora antes de tomar Talmer, que es hablar con este señor, si nos deja, si el Divis, por favor, hola, ahora.
I'm glad you came.
At your service, sir.
I'm about to give the order to bombard Talmberg. And since it's mainly thanks to you that we still have a trebuchet, I think you should have the honor of the first shot.
I'll be delighted.
To smash my castle? I can't say I share your enthusiasm.
Sorry, sir. I didn't mean it like that.
There's nothing to it. The men will load the trebuchet. All you have to do is pull the lever.
Well, I suppose I could manage that.
Then we'll bombard Talmberg for several days. Sir Robard will explain what comes next. What the hell are you doing?
Vale, pues tenemos que disparar el trabuquete y... a ver... Esto es muy bonito. Vale, estoy dando una vuelta porque no sé, o sea, no... Está cargando el trabuquete, está tardando un poquito. Y bueno, vamos a ver. Todavía no se puede cargar. No sé qué coño esperan, la verdad. Hola. A ver.
Watch it.
Watch it, watch. Aquí están los dos pavos. Ah, vale, ahora está... Vale, ahora lo pillo. Vale, ahora están tensando la movida esa que hay arriba. Y supongo que en el circulito ese, en la cosa del extremo, es donde se coloca la roca y se tira. Es como una catapulta, pero un poco más complicada, ¿no? La catapulta es mucho más fácil. Pero no está el extremo ese de abajo, no sé. Pues resulta un poco extraño, la verdad, pero bueno. También parece que esto vaya a más distancia, ¿no? Al final, que la... no sé. No sé cuál es la ventaja de esto sobre la catapulta, la verdad. Pero bueno. Si ellos han querido un trabuquete en lugar de una catapulta toda la vida, pues tienen un trabuquete. A ver. Vale, esto está encajando perfectamente. Ahora habrá que colocar una piedra, ¿no? O un cañón o algo así. No sé si van a poner piedras, cañones o qué coño. Hay unos cañones ahí al fondo. A ver. Aquí hay uno de ellos que se ha ido corriendo. Ah, vale, van a por la munición. Hola, señor lugareño. A ver. Me lo mira como arrastráis, venga. Venga, que vas pisando huevos, cabrón. Como si pesara tanto, va. Yo no puedo coger ninguno en puta vida. Venga, hombre, que no pesa tanto, joder. Como si pesara, no sé. Lo que no sé luego cómo lo van a fijar. ¿Cómo se fija eso? Porque llega un momento en el que está, no sé, en extremo, ¿no? O sea, es muy raro, tío. El trabuquete es un invento un poco extraño. Ahí ya está colocado. No lo fijan de ninguna manera. Vale, pues ya está. ¿Ya? ¿Podemos usarlo? Sí. Vale, usarlos. Venga. ¡Y ale! ¡Y ale! ¡Hop! Ahí tira la piedra. Y... ¡bumba! Perfecto. Y vamos al perro este. Ahora vamos a hablar con Saint Robert. Hello, Saint Robert.
Divish said...
Sir Divish.
Good day, Henry.
Sir Divish said you tell me what happens next.
Aye. We're going to watch Istvan shitting himself.
That's all.
For a few days at least. So if you have anything to attend to, now's the time. Just don't forget to come back.
Vale, pues ya estamos ahora con Sir Robert y ahora con quién tenemos que hablar, o qué tenemos que hacer. A ver, contadme. Esperar a que finalicen los 2 días de bombardero. Vale, pues voy a cortar aquí y cuando pasen los 2 días de bombardero volvemos, porque es tontería estar aquí esperando. Así que hasta ahora. Pues ya estamos aquí, ya han pasado los 2 días de bombardero. O sea, ahora tenemos que hablar con este señor.
Since Sir Divish's colours still aren't flying over Talmberg, I suppose we'll be attacking.
Just so. That Istvan's a stubborn bastard.
All right, when do we start?
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? If you need to rest or anything, we can still wait. You won't have another chance until we've won the day. Or until your final rest.
I'm ready.
Glad to hear it. We're going to attack on two fronts. The north gate and the west wall, which will scale with ladders. The attack will be split into different stages. Taking the outer walls, the inner bailey, and finally the core of the castle and the tower.
How are we going to attack the gate?
We'll try to do as much damage as we can with the trebuchet first. Keezer claims he can even hit it directly. Even if that's true, we'll have to charge through a downpour of enemy arrows all the way to the portcullis.
Portcullis?
Fortunately, it's wooden, so we'll be able to break it down. But dealing with the defense in the bailey won't be easy.
And what's the plan for attacking the west wall?
First, we have to get men to the wall with ladders, which is no easy matter under fire, so we'll need as many men covering them as possible. As soon as the ladders are in place, our foot soldiers will run up and try to scale the wall. Once a few of them get to the battlements, we should quickly gain the upper hand.
How will we take the battlements?
Either by scaling the west wall, or our men at the gate will help. If they can break through, that is.
And the inner bailey?
That will be tough. Even if we get through the gate and into the outer bailey, we're still a long way from victory. The castle is designed so we'll be like hens in a coop to anyone with a bow on the inner battlements. We'll have to either fight our way through, or somehow get around them.
What about the living quarters?
There, I'm worried most about the hostages. Once we're inside, Istvan will know defeat is inevitable, but we'll still have to fight for each and every room.
I think I've heard everything I need to know.
Do you want to join the attack on the walls or on the gate? Remember, many of the Skalitz men will follow you. It could make a big difference.
I'll help with the attack on the walls.
I'm proud of you, Henry. You've changed from an insolent pup into a tough, reliable fighter. And as God is my witness, we will kick those whore sons' arses.
A village lad and an old soldier. This man must be shaking in his boots.
If he's not shaking, then he doesn't know what he's got coming. Just one last thing, though. No matter how good the plan is, something always gets fucked up. Keep your eyes open and take advantage of every chance. Help your comrades, and don't go rushing in where you're outnumbered. We have to take the castle gradually, one position after another.
I'll remember that.
Good luck to you, stripling.
Good luck to you, old soldier.
Bueno, parece que por fin empieza la batalla tal cual. Vamos a ver si conseguimos liberar Talmberg de las garras de los malvados. ¿Qué les pasa? Se están muriendo, están cayendo desplomados. Pero si no están atacando ni nada, ¿qué ha pasado? Pero si no han tirado ni flechas ni hostias, ¿qué cojones, tío? La madre que los parió, tío. En fin. Bueno, éramos pocos y han matado a la mitad. Mira, se quedan 3, tío. ¿Qué Vale, ahora están las escaleras puestas. Goal. Vale, pues nada, goal. Pues van dos a cada escalera. Somos un ejército súper numeroso, como podéis ver. Bueno, se supone que otras divisiones del ejército han ido por la puerta principal y demás. Esta es solo una pequeña parte, y muy pequeña, porque somos 6. Me la han tirado a uno de los nuestros abajo, perfecto, o sea que somos uno menos. Antes eran 6 y yo 7, ahora son 5 y yo 6. Pero bueno, vamos a matar ahí a toda velocidad, que ya sabéis que yo los mato súper rápido porque soy top power. Sádico. Sadicus. Ahí ya como los estamos machacando, ahí todos a por ellos. Ahora de repente parece que somos más de 7, tío. Vale, está muerto. Y este también. ¿Y este qué? Y este yo creo que y ahí, ya está. Ahí queda uno. Quedaba uno ahí en la lejanía. A ver. Quería ver si podía ponerme pociones o algo, pero está claro que no. Bueno. Vamos. Voy a seguir a los colegas. ¿Este está vivo todavía? Vamos a matar piadosamente, va. No es que nos den puntos extra por ello, pero lo que sea matar siempre es positivo. Vale, venga, vamos para allá. A ver. Nada, seguimos en batalla. No puedo tomar ni pociones ni nada. Y es una mierda, porque se supone que tengo pociones preparadas para la batalla, pero no tal. En fin, bueno. Vamos a hacer lo de siempre. Aunque este tío cabrón se ha cargado a... No, se ha cargado a 2 o casi se ha cargado. A ver. Muere, perro. Le pega 2 hostias en guapas y entonces sigue ahí. Venga. Joder, cansa, me ha parecido más de golpe. Así que... Bueno, poco a poco van a ir cayendo. Además, en teoría creo que somos más. Y además estoy yo, que cuento como por 10. Ay, cuidado. Lo importante es eso, que no se dirijan a mí, vamos. Que se estén pegando con los otros y así yo les puedo atacar por un lado, por detrás mejor. En plan cobarde rastrero. Venga, morir, coño. Morir. Ahora, ya estás muerto. Ya no se me queda este. Jódete. Vale, pues ya estamos aquí. Y ahora desde el sur atacaremos por la retaguardia. Pues mira qué bien. Avanzamos. Espero que el resto del ejército haya llegado al sitio y no estemos nosotros solos, porque lo vamos a pasar guay. Vamos a disfrutar. Estás en zona privada. No creo que le importa a nadie ahora mismo. Vale, esto por aquí. Y esto es por aquí. Estos se han quedado parados ahí viendo el espectáculo. Estaba mirando a ver si nos perseguían por detrás. Pero no. Están todos aquí en el patio. Pasan de solo en grande. Y es hora de matar peña, prima. Vamos a matar a este primero. Por ejemplo. Ay, puto. Ay. Que me pega uno con un casco todo guapo. Me dejo un poco para que se vaya a centrarse en otro tío. Y así le puedo atacar por la espalda. Jódete. Ay, cabrón. Ahora. Te tengo, perro. Y ahí hay otro muerto. Y ahora este va a morir. Ya, adiós. Y otro que muere. Y están cayendo poco a poco los soldados malvados. Los usurpadores del trono de Talmberg. Vale. Oye, tu señor. Señor, venga, muérase. Vale, muy bien.
Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanush.
Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. If your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, we're all noblemen here, all bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship, but Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks this truce answers to me.
So are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor.
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. And then he'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Divish!
Stephanie.
Forgive me, husband. I'm sorry
For what?
for letting them into the castle.
Oh, come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Never mind. Did he hurt you?
No.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzig free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Skalitz. Mount up, Henry. You've heard what he'll do if we follow them. We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
Vale, pues voy a estar caminando junto a Hans, pero como hay que patearse todo el puto mapa desde aquí hasta Skalitz, que está en el extremo oeste del mapa, pues si no os parece mal voy a cortar aquí, porque bueno, no hay nada interesante en estar cabalgando con este señor todo el tiempo. Y cuando llegue al sitio, pues volvemos. Hasta ahora.
There's no sign of them. Move on. There! I'm glad to see Ishvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too. And now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
Are you alright, Father?
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
And where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
Well, he knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little about his past.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
He spent some time in Prague, then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah, the sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there it was so near, yet so far. Oh well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it. I'll never forget his face. Or his name. Mark Vart von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. But it's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front. It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. My word, it's all go today, isn't it? I wonder who this is.
I think I know. It's Margrave Jobst.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
You're doing well, son.
Father.
Come now. You know who sired you.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Amar. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
For what? I let you down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting. Now look at me.
Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right. I have to leave you now.
Oh, please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows. Make her proud.
Oh, don't go. No.
What on earth were you dreaming about? I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzig wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with Jobst.
Right. I'll go straight away. What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me, as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
Bueno, hemos completado un juramento, es un juramento, que era la última misión, y ahora estamos en el epílogo. Partida guardada, eso siempre es bien. Vale, ayuda a los señores a recapturar Talmberg. Aquí no, pensaba que era un cofre que podíamos abrir, pero no. Descubrir cómo recuperar la espada de padre. Misión iniciada, epílogo. Vale, pues vamos para allá. Ir al castillo mayor durante el día para reunirse con el más grave. Vale, chicos, pues voy a cortar aquí, y cuando esté en el castillo volvemos. Hasta ahora.
Ah, Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Radzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur, that King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergholf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Bergholf is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghof, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts, and now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghof know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like scarlets? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Bergov at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Bergov would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
Oh, what isn't really the issue. The question is how. We need to learn where they stand on liberating the king and ousting Sigismund.
So, it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes, I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Bergov is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Very well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia. But instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years, and now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslas. Wenceslas also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned. They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change.
Who is he really, this?
The cousin of King Wenceslas. He's the Margrave of Moravia. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate against... I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. But he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days.
I'm a bit concerned so many people seem to think so little of King Wenceslas.
Well, there's no straightforward answer to that question. But he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't go how he'd like them. He never had much of a head for high office. You can't just abscond. You've seen for yourself what happens when he disappears for a few months.
Who is this Prokop that Jobst...
Jobst's brother, the king's cousin. He and Jobst warred over Moravia. Then they were allies for a while, betrayed Wenceslas, and sided with politics. Make of it what you will. I, for one, can't...
The League of Lords and that Bergov we're off to see. Who are they exactly?
The lords of the powerful houses. Heinrich of Rosenberg, Otto of Berghof, Heinrich of Radetz, and others. They abducted the king years ago and made him bow to their will. They got away with it that time, and now they've joined forces. But now it seems that Sigismund's behavior is starting to rub them up the wrong way. So they may well...
I don't know all that much.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary in his own right. 7 years ago, he led a crusade against the Some say it was due to the recklessness of the French knights. Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might well make a better ruler than Wenceslas, but he's arrogant. Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother. And now this is how Sigismund repays his brother.
Rupert of the Palatinate. That's a name I hadn't heard before today.
Rupert is the Prince-Elector of the Palatinate.
What?
The Prince... Some of the nobility... So...
That young man, Sir John of Liechtenstein. Why is he here?
The Liechtensteins are a powerful Austrian family with estates in Austria. Since the king's being held captive in Vienna, I suppose it makes sense to have a powerful...
That's about all.
Very well. Take the letter from... So what do you think of it all, Sir Divish? I think I don't know what to think.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Vale, pues ahora lo que tenemos que hacer es hablar con el Hans Capon, o sea, con este pavo, y cabalgar junto a él.
Come to see us.
So, can we set off now, Henry?
Of course. I can't wait.
So, to horse! The Lord of Berghoff is bound to be waiting as eagerly.
Vale, pues para no tener que comernos todo el caminito, que estoy harto de patearme todo el mapa con Hans Capon, voy a cortar y cuando llegue al campamento este donde tenemos que ir, pues volveremos. Hasta ahora. Vale, pues ahí donde está el caballo es donde está el campamento este, donde está Capón y los demás. Así que lo que tenemos que hacer ahora es hablar con el tío, supongo. Con Hans. Además en este sitio hay un cofre bastante guay donde está la mejor espada del juego. Así que es bien.
How about it, Henry? Can we go? Are you ready for this?
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
Quite. Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that horseman who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I have a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
Bueno chicos, pues ya nos hemos pasado Kingdom Come Deliverance. La verdad es que a mí el juego me ha gustado. Es una pena la cantidad de bugs horribles que había. Y bueno, y hay otras cosas como lo de abrir cerraduras que era muy difícil, o el guardar que no tenía ningún sentido, pero bueno, en general el juego me ha gustado. Espero que a vosotros os haya gustado verlo. Dale un like si os ha molado. Suscribíos si no lo habéis hecho todavía. Y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. Adiós.